If he just choked George Floyd out and then cuffed him, that would be way better for everybody.
Yep.
Like a real simple 5-second rear naked choke. He goes to sleep temporarily. You cuff him. He wakes up. None of the trauma to his neck. None of that shit. None of the 4 minutes, whatever it was, seconds.
No nationwide riots.
No nationwide riots. It's
maybe
real
there would have been
simple.
for a different reason.
It's
but,
just a jujitsu move, and then you cuff them, and But man, being a cop is the most fucking thankless, psychotic job in this country.
When the George Floyd thing first happened, and forget like whatever the autopsy, there was the one autopsy that said it was fentanyl that killed him. Like leaving all of that aside, just when the video of that Derek Chauvin kneeling on this guy's neck, who's on the ground and crying in pain, and he's kind of smiling, and then the guy dies. Everybody I know, I mean, it was so unified. I knew hardcore right-wingers, my Fox News watching father-in-law. I remember I was at his house the day it happened, and he goes, every one of those cops should be put in handcuffs on national television. And he goes, they should all be charged with murder. Like there was, that was like, you cannot do this. And then after the riots started in the summer, all those same people were like, send in the military. You know what? Like you just see how like someone could so quickly go from like, we really need some police reform here. Like there is too much state power of policing. To then after you see some riots, what are you asking for? Well, who's going to stop that?
Martial law?
Yeah. We need the government to come in and crack down. More police power than ever before. So you could see like, and that's just like a little scale, but you could see how much that demand and sometimes very understandably so. Like in that example, very understandably so. Because you're like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm totally against like the over-militarization of the police. But when you have these huge riots across every major city in the country, you're like, well, I guess this is the one time we have a reason to have that. And then, by the way, of course, they don't do anything to stop it.
Yeah.
They just let it go.
The George Floyd one was fascinating because it wasn't a setup. It was just an organic moment where someone was filming some guy who had a guy lean. Now, was he on his neck or was he on his shoulder? Because I keep hearing people online saying he was on his shoulder.
Maybe that might be right.
The thing is, on the neck, you're really going to go out. You're going to go to sleep. If the guy's really pressuring your neck like that, you're going to, like, anybody who thinks that's not a big deal, get someone who knows how to put weight on the knee, leaning on your neck. Okay, he's right on the neck, no question at all. Okay, that will put you to sleep for the most part, and that will definitely constrict your breathing, depending upon how much weight he actually has on that neck and how strong George Floyd is. Now imagine this guy's already fucked up. He already has an enlarged heart. He's on fentanyl. He's already fucked up. But would he have died without this happening?
Well, from what I understand, there were two autopsies.
People want to say it was an overdose. Well, it's certainly he had poor health because of drug abuse, and it certainly must have contributed to it. But are you saying that if that wouldn't have a giant effect on someone in poor health? Like if you did that to an old man with emphysema, if you had some guy who's been smoking cigarettes for 50 years and you got on his neck, he could fucking die right there. Whereas if you didn't get on his neck, he'd probably live a long time.
Right, and you can't say it was the smoking that killed him if it was that.
Right. Remember Eric Gardner? It was another one.
Yeah,
Eric Gardner, people were saying, he died because he's fat and he had a heart attack. I was like, no, dude, that guy's choking him. Yeah. And if you don't think that guy's choking him, let me grab your neck like that. You don't think that's a choke?
Yeah.
Because it's one arm? I'll put you to sleep with one arm.
Yeah. You
could put someone to sleep.
I've watched UFC fighters get put to sleep. Professional fighters get put to sleep with one arm.
Professional world champion Sean Brady choked out Leon Edwards for the most part with a one-arm guillotine.
And Luke Rockhold got Michael Bisping the same way.
One-arm guillotine. Yeah. Tito Ortiz got somebody with that. The one-arm guillotine is legit. That's legit.
And anybody who's like... If anybody who like knows what they're doing, it was grappling anyone who doesn't know what they're doing, they could all one arm choke you out.
Yeah, they were saying, oh, he just restrained him. Like, no. When you restrain someone, you get their arms behind their back, you pin their weight down. You could just restrain the guy. If you're a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, with your body weight. If you have you're on top. He's face down. You put your hooks in. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You flatten him out. You underhook him. You pull his arms out. Someone cuffs him. You don't choke him. You don't have to choke him. The guy wasn't resisting at all. So that was another one, right? But these are real moments. These are organic moments. They're not setups, but boy, are they good at capitalizing on those fucking things. And then when you see public officials going with this swarm of narrative, the swarm of narrative was defund the police. Like, are you guys out of your fucking mind? In the middle of these riots, you're going to go against the police instead of going against the rioters? You got one bad cop. That bad cop should be prosecuted, or something should happen. He should be, you know, if the guy died of an overdose, at the very least, what he's doing seems to be brutal. And unnecessary. Unnecessary and brutal. The guy's not resisting. You put your weight on his back. It's hard enough. It's so hard to get up if someone has their fucking knee on your back. It's so hard to get, especially if you're out of shape and you have an enlarged heart and you're on fentanyl.
Now, there's also 7 cops around him. And he wasn't, I mean, I've watched the whole body cam footage. He was clearly fucked up, and he was clearly having like a massive panic attack.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like being like violent with the cops. He wasn't a threat for that many cops.
The cops get so desensitized, and you have so many experiences with one individual. This guy had a long criminal record. The people that worked that area probably all knew him. Didn't Derek Chauvin and him work together somewhere?
Yeah, I remember hearing that, but
security
I don't know what they
were
somewhere. Like, they were doing some security gig together. I think so. But yeah,
so there's probably some get back involved in that knee on the neck.
It's right, quite possibly. It's also one of those things where, like, it is. Look, most of the time, someone won't die if you do that.
They
you know what I mean?
Do that all
like,
the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But there is
most of the time someone's not filming it.
Yes,
that's
also true. And if the body cam footage comes out, it's usually much later, so it's not kind of like as a media of a thing. Also, usually every single media outlet in the entire United States of America, in the middle of a lockdown, doesn't play the video on repeat all day, every single day, because there was no reason. The thing about George Floyd that was crazy is that there was no reason for it to be a national story, and there was no reason for it to be a racial story. Like, there wasn't.
Wait a minute, really? Why don't you think there would be no reason for it to be a national story when a cop kills
a guy
for a false $20 bill?
No. When I say that, okay, I'm not saying there's no like story there. I'm saying we're a country of 330 million people. There are a number of these incidents that happen every year. Not like a crazy high number, but like there's a few hundred of these every year. This one kind of seemed to get picked as like, we're all going to run with this right now.
Because we got the full video. We got a 4 minute. It's like go back to Rodney King. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I guess, okay, that is a fair point. The Rodney King one was a bit different. I mean, number one, the video element then was way crazier because it was...
Nobody had ever seen a video before.
No one...